You're listening to Darling Shine, a podcast by Ellidy Pullen and myself, Chloe Fisher.
Darling Shine is your survival kit to the unexpected shit life throws at you.
So, welcome
to season 2. How was your break? Oh, we didn't even have a break, let's be honest. We've been hustling.
Yes, we have been hustling. Brit's like, well, I was meant to have a 4-week break, but we've literally not had a 4-week break. We've been trying to squeeze in as much as we possibly can before Ellidy pops.
We've probably worked harder in the break than we do during the weeks. Or like we had one week there where we interviewed like 400 people and I was like, I need a nap.
Ellidy's like, we're not doing any more guests.
I'm sick of them. Nah, we've actually got the best guests. No, we're having some very moving, profound conversations, darlings. You guys need to buckle the fuck up for this season. But then obviously there's a lot that me and Chlo are discussing. So I think it'll be a banger of the season.
Yes, we're very, very, very excited. So not before we get into it, I want to know about you, your update.
I want to know about you, darling.
I don't know about
darling.
You first. Darling.
Me first.
A darling. Is that what we are?
I've been
now?
adding a K on the end.
Let's
darling.
not do that.
Darling Shine. Season 2 rebrand, darling.
Oh my goodness. Stop.
So what do you want to know about me?
I want to know you're approaching birth. And
we have been doing some birth classes, been doing some hypnobirthing at home.
What is hypnobirthing? Is it like a one-on-one thing or is it like a group thing?
Oh, okay. So Maddie and Geordie, my good friends who, like you obviously know, they bought me or they like gifted me hypnobirthing a while ago, which is such a good present because I really wouldn't have bought it for myself. I honestly would have just Googled some like fucking calm birthing shit and just not read a book at all, probably not learned a thing. So this chick, I called her and I was like, I've got a voucher for you. And I told her kind of my story and she was like, you probably shouldn't come into the classes because, you know, there's like, the dads are there holding them and rah, and this might be too much for you. So she was like, I'll do private one-on-ones with you. I'll come to your house 4 weeks in a row and do like half days. And I was like, what a fucking absolute lord. So she comes on Thursdays with my doula and my mum. When my mum can make it, she's a bit busy. My birth partner is a bit busy. But no, so she's amazing. Basically hypnobirthing, and I think we should do another episode where we actually get her on. Her name's Shari from Belly to Birth and she's around the Gold Coast. She's epic. But it's basically like reminding you to literally breathe and it's teaching you all about the natural hormones our body will kind of prep for and go into naturally if you stay calm throughout like early labor. And it's just like it kind of, you know, it's common sense, but it's stuff that we don't just know. And it's like learning about the anatomy of the body and what your body does if you like let yourself naturally go into labor and stay calm. Because as soon as you stress, the hormones like the oxytocin and stuff will not come in. And then there's this domino effect and the other hormones won't play the role that they're meant to play. So you'll have to get like, you know, the syntocin, like who knows what will happen in birth. There's like heaps of intervention that you can have. So I'm not saying I'm going to like go in like fucking meditating and this kid will slip out like asleep or something, but that would be ideal. But no, it's just you'll love hypnobirthing, Chlo. Like if you were here, you'd love these classes because like you just get your crystals out and you just froth out with the chick for sure.
Speaking of, I know that everyone is eager to know about why I'm still here and I'm not with Ellidy. Obviously, I was meant to be at home with her and I'm like devastated. It kills me every single freaking day. But plans have just changed a little bit and I'm here. And Australia is making it virtually impossible for us me to come and go right now. I could probably get in, but it's like if I want to leave again, that's just where it gets a little bit complicated and the flights are like $20,000 return. It's pretty insane. Yeah. So I will not be there for the birth. I'm absolutely gutted. I can't explain to you, it kills me that I'm not here, honestly. Even through these birthing classes, I'm so interested. I'm all over that shit. Like the one thing that I wanted to do with this baby and be involved in this baby is to obviously be there by your side in the lead up to the birth, through the birth, and then like the first few weeks and stuff like that, which is not going to happen. But I'm obviously going to be on the other side of the phone.
We might have to chuck you on FaceTime for the birth.
Yes, please, seriously. I will. We'll get
an episode. Put it on Zoom it.
Like Kourtney Kardashian.
Oh my God. Yes.
They filmed
so
all
funny.
that. So yeah, I'm devastated.
Yeah, I'm devo too, but I feel way better about you being over there with Fish. You know, you guys have things to do. You're trying for a baby. Like, you can't just be over here not with him. It just makes absolutely no sense. And the world is crazy right now. So I feel really good about everything that's coming up, and I'm really glad obviously I miss you to bits.
Yeah.
But you've got to do what you've got to do, darling.
Oh my God, I can't. You're so annoying.
Yeah, so yeah, I know. I'm the best for sure. But no, we have had some scans, and my baby just literally, like, my friends like come to me and they're like, look at my baby's head in the scan. It's like so cute. And I just like have not been able to see my kid's head because it just hides in every scan. Like the other week I was literally doing handstands. I was like getting up to do handstands in the room, and the lady's like, whoa, what are you doing?
Of course you were.
Trying to flip the kid so it's moving and we can see its head. And every time she's trying to, scan for it, she's like, it's just really far down and not like showing its head. And then I'm like, a few weeks later, have another one thinking it'll be, the kid is like, not going to be hiding this time. Same thing, completely hiding. So
bad little peanut.
Yeah, bad little peanut. It's already in trouble as soon as it comes out because it's just been hiding from mama.
Yes, same with mine. It's in the bad books.
Yeah, yours is invisible. Mine's hiding.
My invisible child is definitely in the bad books, but no. I'm putting good vibes out there. You're not in the bad books. You're in my good books every single day, but you'll be in the naughty corner.
But you'll be getting the wooden spoon as soon as you come out. Nah. Kidding. Don't call docs. Daily Mail, if you're listening, just joking. But no, they do love a bit of an invisibility cloak, our kids, don't they?
Oh my God, naughty, far out.
But it was funny because my doula the other day was like, let's channel Chumpy. She that's how I got into having Avalon as my doula, because she kind of connects with Chumpy. She's like, she also connects with baby spirits. I think we've touched on Avalon before. And she was like, Chumpy's with the baby and he's really guarding it and protecting it. She actually said both my dad and Chumpy are holding Bub, which is funny because Dad's here, Chumpy's over there. And she said that Chump's really protective, like hiding guarding the baby. And I just think, I was like, that kind of makes, if that's true, that makes sense because Bub's hiding from me at the moment. So I hope it's ready to come out and stop hiding.
It's just with its daddy. Let Chumpy have his moment.
Let him have his moment.
Because
he deserves that moment.
Because when it's out, it'll be all yours.
Oh my God, yes. I cannot wait. But no, Chump will still be around. I'm like, hold on, is he still going to be here after, with the bub kind of in a way? And Avalon's like, absolutely.
Yes.
Don't be silly, of course.
Should we have a little bet on what we think you're having? Do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
Okay. I'm thinking girl lately.
Oh, really? I'm thinking boy.
You're really thinking boy, are you?
Yeah, I'm thinking boy. I don't know.
Lately, I've really been thinking boy, and Bonnie, our acupuncturist, has been thinking. Oh no, did I say boy? No, girl. Sorry.
Girl.
Bonnie's been thinking girl because she's been feeling my pulse, and she's like, oh, if it's on this certain side, it's a girl.
Oh my
sure.
goodness! I need to tell you something. Sorry, it just came to me. Sorry, I just fully interrupted you. This is weird. No. Okay, so when I was in Ibiza the other week, I was just going through the ringer a few days, and one of my friends, Leslie, who lives and works over there, I was telling her all my issues and all that same, and poor thing had to sit and listen. And she was like, don't worry, it will happen, blah, blah, blah. And then the poor thing went and listened to our podcast, and she's like, I'm so sorry for saying everything that I said, because it's everything that you said, don't say. I was like, no, it's fine. But she just literally texted me yesterday and she said, this is pretty crazy. And it just clicked to me because she talked about snowboarding, and I'm like, oh my God. So she goes, hi love, hope you're doing good. So I had a dream last night. You and Paul had a baby. Paul was actually taking it snowboarding and it was a little girl. My last 2 dreams that I dreamt this about my friends came true. One of my friends was the one who I told that she couldn't have kids, and she did, and it was a boy, and I dreamt it. I really hope this comes true for you. So I'm like,
oh my God, I love it.
And the psychic that I saw, well, the one that I saw a few months ago, said that it was going to be a girl. So we'll see. Oh. Fingers crossed, a little girl, channeling that little girl on the snowboard. How crazy is that?
I don't know why, but for you and Fish, I can only see girl. I just see girl.
Hopefully, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But hold on, you had a good chat, an IVF chat this morning. Can you tell us about that, doll?
Oh, yes. So obviously I'm not coming home right now, and I kind of made the decision of starting IVF over here because I'm just like, I can't keep – I'm in this weird stationary position where I don't feel like I'm moving forward. I'm doing all this research. I'm trying to work out what's wrong still. I had been taking Clomid for the last 3 months, which – I don't know, you're meant to be when you're taking Clomid, which Clomid is a tablet that you take from day 2 to 6 of your period, and basically it makes you ovulate. But usually when you're taking it and you're taking it through your IVF clinic, they're monitoring you through the cycle. So they're tracking basically the ovulation. They'll be able to tell you when to have intercourse based around pretty much that. Yeah, they basically just tell you. Whereas for me, I've just been doing it blind for the last 3 months. We've been trying our absolute hardest and we're still obviously not pregnant. And my last period, which I was convinced that I was going to be pregnant, it didn't really come, which is super, super weird. I kind of started spotting maybe 4 days before my period was due. I'm like, this is epic. It's implantation bleeding. It's everything's points to this, epic. My period actually still hasn't come. It's 3 weeks later. So I'm day 50 of my cycle, but I've done 2 pregnancy tests and they're both negative. So there's something going on. But anyway, which brings me to where I was talking, I had this call today. So in the meantime, I've been really doing a lot of research into IVF clinics here in America because I don't really want to start from scratch again. I obviously have all my results. I have all my tests. I have everything basically ready to go. And I did meet with one doctor a month or 2 ago, and he was just I really didn't vibe him at all. He basically was we're going to get you in tomorrow. We're going to start fresh. We're going to do all the tests, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, no, I've already just done them. Nothing's changing. These are my results sort of thing. So that really spun me off into a bit of a spiral of stress because I was far out. It's actually been easy in Australia. I love my doctor in Australia. Dr. Org is amazing and everything was just relaxed, whereas this just it sent me through the roof. And then so now I kind of decided obviously I needed to shop around with doctors. And so I made a few appointments with a doctor in LA, a doctor in Vegas, some that I'd found that I'd had really good reviews and stuff like that. But anyway, so it brings me to this woman that I met with today, and she is actually a fertility specialist in acupuncture. And basically I've just been craving, because obviously, Ellidy and I, when I was at home, we used to get acupuncture weekly, if not fortnightly, with Jess and Bonnie at Nuwa on Currumbin Beach. And I am just missing that so, so, so much. So I was I need to find a fertility.
Bonnie over, doll.
Oh,
she's
mate,
insane.
I know. Well, I found this woman and I had a really good chat with her today. So basically before you do any appointments here, you basically have to have your consultation on Zoom. So I had my Zoom consultation for acupuncture, but I spoke to her for an hour, and honestly, the chat that we had was one of the best chats I feel I've had in my whole journey about someone who knows the ins and outs of fertility. And I basically told her my story. I told her where I was at. She's like, this is absolutely traumatic. You've been through the ringer. And pretty much she was just like, obviously when Dr. Ung did the surgery at the very beginning before I started IVF, they found endometriosis and all this sort of stuff. And because I told her I'd had 2 miscarriages around the 7-week mark, she's like, I'm not worried about you falling pregnant. Like, I know that you could fall pregnant. I know you, with your age, I know you've got a low AMH, but you definitely have good eggs in you. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about, there's something in your uterus that is not working, because otherwise, like whether it's like a cyst or a polyp or something like that, there's something inside you that we need to investigate, basically. This is an acupuncture chick. This is before I've even spoken to an IVF woman. So basically, anyway, fast forward to like where I'm feeling right now. If you could see my stomach, I literally look like I'm 3 months pregnant, and I've never experienced bloating like this ever in my life. Like I said to Paul, I'm like, fuck, I really feel like my whole lower stomach is just like puffed out completely. And I was like, maybe it's because I haven't got my period. I don't know what's going on. I feel rank. But this woman's like
growing back, or?
Well, this is the thing. She's like, A, endometriosis grows back really fast. So I feel like your fertility could have something to do with that. B, basically what happens with Clomid is like I was saying, they're meant to be like monitored, these cycles. And you should really also, I mean, I'm not professional, so don't take my word for anything. I'm just trying to repeat what she said. But basically she was just like, you should really have been doing trigger shots like when you are meant to ovulate and actually release these eggs, because you have got issues releasing eggs by the sounds of it. And what she said, what I think is going on, there's this hormone imbalance where like the eggs actually haven't released and they've gotten stuck, or they're still in the follicle. They weren't mature enough. And basically it's like formed a bit of a cyst and like inflammation in your uterus. So that's why you must be really bloated. Anyway, I told her the doctors that I had like lined up to see at the beginning of October, and she's like, no, don't see them. I'm like, okay. She's like, there's this woman in LA that I highly recommend. I work with her all the time with my Chinese medicine. She's like, she specializes in like, because I'm like a bit of a hard basket. So she sort of specializes in that stuff. So I'm going to try and get in with her. And she's like, she's usually got a really long waiting list, but I can hopefully push you up the list, because you're going to be one of my, not patients, but one of my people. But basically she's getting me in tomorrow morning, and she's going to give me a bunch of Chinese meds to try and like get rid of this bloating. And then also, what else she said? And then she's going to give me like a full session of acupuncture, which I literally cannot wait for. So I'm like, fingers crossed, like, but everything that I learned from her today, I'm like, oh my God, this is just, I feel so good. Like I literally walked out of that phone call with like the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, oh my God, this person understands me. Like, and she's like, you noted on here that you have a lot of stress and anxiety. Is this just around, the baby stuff? And I'm like, yeah, it's purely just around that. Like obviously my emotions, they build up, and then something happens like, and I just explode and I'm a mess. And it's very, very hard for my friends to support me and my loved ones to support me, because it's weird because I don't really want the support, or I don't really want that. Like I just want to be by myself, and I want to like be able to like take it all in and just process it myself. But it is, and I was saying to this woman, I was like, I've got 15 or 16 friends at home that are all pregnant right now. They're all popping out babies as we speak up until January. Like my baby was meant to be due in January. So I very much was in this pod with my friends, and I find it very hard to look at stuff from back home right now because it's so incredibly triggering. And I honestly, like I said last season, like I didn't think I would ever be that person that like when you hear people say like, oh, going to baby showers and the births and all announcements and stuff like that is so triggering. I can't see it. I'm like, fuck, why not? That's so weird. But like I'm very much in the depth of this, and I fully get it. Like, and that's what I said to her. I'm like, I'm anxious. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm like fully depressed about it all, but like, I'm like, I feel like I'm butting my head against a wall. I have no answers. I feel defeated. Why is everyone able to fall pregnant? Why am I not to be able to fall pregnant? Like, 80% of the time I'm okay, and I just put one foot in front of the other. This obviously helps me a lot speaking on the podcast. I'm very busy with like my work and all that sort of stuff. So I'm able to keep busy, but it gets to a point where it bottles up. And like, I'm not one that like diffuses on a daily basis. And it's actually funny because our next episode, we speak all about mental health and how to diffuse this, but like, I'm not very good at like letting it out day by day. Like, I'm one of those people where it just like, it bottles up until I get to here. And then it's just like, I'm like a mess. So I'm working on that. But yeah, I feel really positive about this. Like, I'm really excited to keep moving because I was positive that, well, I had very high expectations for Clomid. I was like, maybe this is our time. Like, I'm relaxed. Like, I'm just, this is my time. But obviously it hasn't really worked. And this side, I know that bloating is a side effect, and I didn't really get it the first 2 months using it. But now I'm like, holy shit. Like, I honestly, I'm so uncomfortable. Like, in clothes, I was actually meant to do like a photo shoot today for a brand, and it's swimwear. And I had to say, like, I'm so sorry, but I actually can't do this. Like, I feel so uncomfortable. Like, even like, I'm usually a size 6 to 8. And even when I put the swim on, I'm like, I literally cannot do this. And I just like, it doesn't even fit me. Like, and I'm like, I'm not a size 10 ever. I've never been a size 10. And not that there's any problems with being a size 10, just my personal body. I'm like,
it's just the bloating. You can't.
I just like the bloating is like insane. And it's just like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will probably come on and talk about like in our Facebook community about Clomid and maybe the side effects they've had. But I thought I was just like breezing through this, like, yeah, no side effects, it's fine. But it's literally only been the last week and I've just blown out. It's just, yeah. But I don't know. I'm hoping that this woman will be able to like, maybe Dr. Ug wanted me to get my hormones levels tested, but it's just so hard here because like, I'm like, you don't have I just feel like I'm blindly navigating it. Because I don't know, I don't have a GP just to go to get a GP. Like, everyone, the healthcare system over here is like extremely weird. Like, we've got Medicare, you just go and get a blood test and it's just like, and Bob's your uncle. But not
over
here.
There, you've literally had to start from like A again, square one, and go through it. But I think I'm just like, even I feel a weight's lifted off my shoulders just knowing that you've now got a plan. Like, not to say that you have any answers yet, but you've finally found this acupuncture chick. You needed someone like that over there, and also someone that's going to put you in the right direction. So she's already given you this other doctor that you've got to go see. Then
she's so nice, seriously. Because what she said as well, she's just like, I think before you go through any further IVF like cycles, she's like, I already can guarantee you what this doctor's going to do. Like, you need to have the surgery again and have like a laparoscopy, a hysteroscopy, and go in and basically check out my uterus, make sure that like my tubes aren't blocked, check out the inside of my uterus, make sure there's no cysts, no polyps, no endometriosis, and really like get a really good understanding of like, take a biopsy, because she just said that it's funny. It's just really weird that I lost both babies at the same time. And she's like, especially because my embryos were like grade A. So I don't know.
Yeah. It obviously is that there's something like, obviously we're not doctors, but you have no problem getting pregnant. It's just keeping the pregnancy. So something in there, some cells in there are like attacking the barb or something. Yeah.
So I'm excited. It's so weird, and it really is that roller coaster. It is a proper roller coaster, because like last week I spoke to you and I was a mess. This week, like right now I'm speaking to you and I'm on top of the moon for like not really any reason. Yeah.
So we're positive, we're moving forward.
Yeah.
It's all about having a plan. Like, even if there's still no fucking answers, it's like you've got this appointment to look forward to, and then you're going to start the IVF, and then you'll have an egg collection date and just like having something in the works.
It's weird as well, because like, although it is like the most intense experience, like the IVF experience, like, and when I was going through, I'm like, I wouldn't want anyone else to have to do this, because it's just so painfully sad, and just it's so emotional, and it takes all your energy, and it's hard. Right now I'm like, come on, let's go. Give me those needles. Let me stab them into my gut and let's make a baby. Yeah. Like, I'm excited. I'm like, bring it on. Let's do this. I'm feeling really good about it. And like, Fingers crossed. We're going to get that little baby.
We are going to get that little girl. It's coming. She's coming.
She's
Can't wait.
coming. But yeah, sorry, I just waffled on. But I was excited to tell you that.
And how's Fisher? Everyone absolutely loved the finale Fisher ep as well. Like they're already like, get Fisher back on. So
I know.
I mean,
he's good.
Yeah,
he's good. He's like
busy boy playing lots of shows.
Yes, we've been on the road pretty much. I mean, since that's also been a challenge as well for us because I've been here, there, everywhere. I was meant to be in Spain for a week, and then I ended up being there for 3 weeks. And Paul was coming and going. He went back to New York in a weekend in between, played some shows, came back. He went to London. So he's been doing a lot of traveling. We've done Vegas a lot. Yeah, it's been really busy
over there. Like you guys are just traveling and living. Ibiza looked insane. I wanted to be there in the water with you. You were just so tanned, and you guys are just absolutely. Honestly, I know you had so much going on, and when we would speak, you'd really open up and we'd cry together. But at the same time, I think you had a bit of an outlet over there with like your friends over in the UK, and you just looked all sun-kissed and so happy and healthy. And I was like,
I swear to God, like I'm pretty like anal with my sunscreen. Sorry, spit it out. So like I'm like,
yes, me too.
I'm very like I will always wear SPF on my face, always wear SPF on my body. But like I just felt like once you get a tan, Paul and I look at each other like when you after you get out the shower, you're like, oh, how good do you feel when you're just like a bit tanned? Yeah, I know
changes everything.
I actually got this stuff before I went away, and you need to get onto this. It's this new brand called Noosa. I think it's called Noosa Naked, and it's like I guess it's like one of those tanning oil. It's like a tanning oil. It's like a cucumber tanning oil. It's got SPF in it as well. It's SPF 15 plus. It smells ridiculous, but I was wearing that sort of like every day. You need to get onto it. They actually do tanning products too, so you need to get onto it for your baby shower, which we will speak about in a minute. But glowing, like I literally feel like when you have a tan, you feel good.
Yeah.
I've come home and I'm losing my tan and I'm bloated, so that's stunning for me.
No, you still look stunning, darling.
I'm actually glowing right now. I realize that my head is so shiny. You'll have to watch. You actually, guys, this is exciting. We are putting all of our episodes for season 2, all the videos on YouTube. So you can actually go and watch this, and you can actually look at my shiny disco ball head on our YouTube channel. The link will obviously be in our bio, but that's a very exciting announcement that we're doing.
I literally forgot about that. I didn't get ready properly for this episode. I want to wear my hats again. Like this is
but you can't with the headphones. Can't.
Because lack of colours sent me heaps of hats, and they're like,
I know. I love someone actually said like, where do you get all your hats from, Ellidy? I'm like, well, while we're away, Ellidy monitors my house and goes there and works and goes there and like waters my plants, also goes through my wardrobe, and every now and then I'm like, hey, that's a really nice outfit. Oh yeah, lucky she's pregnant, she can't squeeze into my clothes anymore. But the hats, I'm like, man.
And I'm like, oh, this YSL bag, this might be coming home with me.
I know, but that's fine. You do you, doll. You can take whatever you like.
Yeah, well, she's got about 10 of, like, she'll have like 10 of the same hats, and I'm like, I'm a bit cut that I haven't already been re-gifted one of these hats, so I'm just going to be taking this one.
Yes, no, you can do whatever you like, Elle.
But yeah, funnily enough, I didn't prep to be on camera today, so I was like, I broke out with a rash this morning because I'm having a fight with my dog, and I was like,
yes.
I think I'm just going to have to cancel this episode because I'm so fucking pissed off.
Yeah, Ellidy literally got on here and she's like, I don't think we can record today. And I was like, why? Like thinking, I'm like, are you okay? Is everything all good? She goes, well, Rummi rolled in shit. I'm like, wow.
I think we're going to break up. Yeah, look, she didn't roll in poo. Funnily enough, my friend's dog rolled in poo the other day at the beach, and I was like, like, if that was Rummi, I'd leave her at the beach and drive away. I'd be fucking furious. And then today, my dog, it's funny that we're even talking about Rummi. She doesn't even deserve airtime today. Someone actually wrote on our Facebook group, we want an episode all about Rummi. And I'm like, what the fuck are we going to talk about? She's bloody perfect. I don't know what to say. But she's in detention right now. basically she rolled in this big fish washed up on the beach, and she's rolled in it, and then I've been like, oh no, like going nuts. And usually she responds really well to me and she listens to me. She's a Kelpie. She's one of those loyal dogs that has like a sole owner, and she listens to me like we have a great relationship. But oh my God, her and my friend's dog were just going nuts on this fish. And I know that this is a normal dog thing, but it's not a normal Rummi thing. And then she wouldn't listen to me when I was trying to get it in the water to wash it off.
Oh my God, I wish I saw this.
She stinks, and I am livid. I honestly have never been more pissed off. I don't know what to do. I'm going to ship her off to my brother's for a few days. I'm so fucking furious about it. Like,
she's usually an angel dog.
She's the devil dog. She's in Saturday detention today. Did you ever have Saturdays, doll?
I never got a Saturday. Actually, I might have got one. Who knows what I did, because I was such a goody two-shoes. But no, I definitely didn't have a Saturday. There's no way.
I always had Friday Arvo and Saturday detention. Well, I think I had one Saturday. I always had Friday Arvo detentions though.
I'm sure I didn't really get detentions.
It was always for nothing. It was always for like not ever doing homework. And I'd be like, I don't do extracurricular shit. So just, like, no.
Or like if our skirt wasn't to our knees and shit like that.
Yeah.
I want to speak to you about Chumpy's birthday. That was last 2 weeks ago.
Chump's birthday.
34.
Yes, so yeah, it's like, I mean, I know this shouldn't be so surprising or anything, but his last birthday was like a month or two after his accident, and I was just like in alcoholic mode, didn't know what was going on, to be honest, couldn't feel 1 ounce of pain or emotion. I was just so numb, and I literally was like having fun, like at that phase. Because do you remember how like not there I was, Chloe?
No, you were. You were just like, you were there, but you weren't there. You were like a silent partner.
Yeah, but I was just like
in autopilot,
drinking heaps and just like drinking my emotions, and therefore just I was genuinely having fun. So I was like, let's all have a party. It's Chumpy's birthday, but he's just not there. I was like, I just thought he was overseas. And so we just had like a big party, and it was so fun. But obviously this year, like
it's sunken in a whole lot more.
But yeah, it's like sunken in so much more. It's been a year. I've finally kind of wrapped my head around that he's somewhat not coming back. And the morning was just absolutely fucked. I just opened my eyes in the morning, looked at the sunrise, and just hit me like all the things that we would usually do for his birthday. Like we'd probably be up the coast camping or doing something fun for it, or if we're at home, we would make like a fun breakfast. He'd be playing music. Like we do fun things for presents. He's really into birthdays, and he always spoils the shit out of me on mine. And yeah, just like it's just surreal that he's not here. But I think I've processed it a lot more lately, and I think like the 8th of July, so the anniversary of his passing, was a bit like I didn't know what to do about that day. I was like, I don't know, but this day, this birthday, this really hurt. And I was actually in Woolworths the morning of, because I was like, well, we've got to celebrate Chump. Like I know I'm upset, but I'm going to have a bit of a party tonight, have everyone over, because I need to start those kind of rituals, those traditions to celebrate him. Like I can cry with my friends, so why not, depending on what emotion I might be feeling at the minute. Because my friend Danny from home, she always seems to call me when I'm having a meltdown, like Danny Ashworth, one of my really good old friends. And I was like, ugh. And she was like, you don't have to have people over. You don't have to do this. And I was like, yeah, but like I'd feel so much worse if I didn't. And I can cry with my friends. Yeah. Like it's okay. This is normal. And she's like, oh, you do too much, And I'm like, it would make me so much sadder if I didn't celebrate. So I was like in Woolworths buying candles, going to light a cake tonight and sing to Chump, and it just like fully fucked me up in there. And I just had a meltdown in Woolworths, couldn't buy the candles because I was like, what the fuck am I? Like, how is this? How am I about what? I'm going to go and sing happy birthday to Chump. I mean, that's what we did last year and it was so fun. And this year, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to do that next year, but But
No,
yeah,
you would
I just
definitely
think,
be able to do it next year. You're going to have a little mini chum.
I know. And that's the whole thing. I've got a baby coming. I want to celebrate Chump every year, every time we can. And I'm not saying it's going to be like a party every time where we're all going, whoa, happy birthday to Chump. He's not here. It's very fucking sad and morbid, but I don't want him to ever not be something that we talk about and celebrate and do things for. So it's just those little rituals that I'll always keep up. So I think every year on his birthday, I'll always do like a night at home, his favourite food, his favourite drinks, stuff like that, as hard as it might be.
Can you just imagine this time next year when you have it, you're going to have like a nearly 1-year-old on your hip.
That's crazy. I know.
So cute.
Oh, I know.
I'll be there for that one.
Yay. But yeah, I think just a bit of anger lately. Like I think just, I don't know, just a bunch of emotions just going round and round in my head lately. Like, it's funny, my midwife, like she tells me, I don't know, we just get on to talking about stuff and she's like, oh, you should see some of the dudes that, like some of the dads that come in, like their chicks are in labour, like having contractions, like about to push a baby out. And they're going, fuck, how long is this going to take? Like, we got shit to do. Like, or some of them
got a
leave.
Footy game to go to.
Yeah, the footy's on, mate. Like some of them leave and like come back like 4 hours later and the baby's born or something. Like,
I'd love to know how many men are in like a labour room with their phone like hidden in a corner with like the NRL or like a football game or a sports game on,
100%.
but their wife doesn't know about it.
Yeah, all the time. Like my midwife said, the boys are just scrolling, looking at their phones. Like, I'm like, why are these fuckwits alive? Because Chumpy would not be like that. He'd be massaging my feet, helping me, telling me how to breathe. Like he'd be all over me like a rash, helping me get through, feeding me, I don't know, fucking frozen margaritas. No, he'd just be amazing. And it just pisses me off so much that like when I hear that guys are just in labour being fuckwits.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But yeah, like just funny things are happening lately. Like I was talking to my friend yesterday about our other friend who we were going to check in on, and I was thinking, oh, when I go home, I'll get Chump to call Thingy and check in. And I was like, oh, like this, what? I know he's gone. How is this just still popping into my head like just normal chat, you know?
Yeah.
Just it's a fucking wild ride.
What I wanted to, I know a lot of people, we sort of touched on it as well last season, but do you want to tell everyone the go with your dad?
Oh, dad. Okay, so I'm not sure if we did touch on it or not, but basically, yeah, this is a really hard one to even process again. So about a month after Chump passed away, my brother and I got news that my dad had stage 4 glioblastoma, which is basically the most aggressive form of cancer, and stage 4 is the final phase. And yeah, it's a very aggressive cancer, and you often won't find out you have glioblastoma until you're in the final phase of it, because there's usually no reason to go and get an MRI scan on your brain until you're feeling those symptoms, and you don't really feel them until the final phase. So something that we couldn't have gotten onto earlier, basically. They said to us, this was last September, they said to us that Dad would probably, make it to Christmas and maybe not too much longer. But it's been a year and he's absolutely amazing. His mindset is just incredible. I just he's my spirit animal.
He's so funny, by the way.
Yeah.
We might have to find some like really good videos of him and post them on our Instagram, because he does some of the funniest shit you've ever seen, ever. You would not believe it, but we'll spring it on you, and it's pretty funny.
It's so funny to get on the podcast. Your mum and my dad.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It would make no sense.
No one would know what the fuck was going on. But no, his mindset's amazing, and I think that's honestly really, apart from like obviously chemo and treatment and, the doctors and everything getting him through. But yes, so basically my brother and I were at a scan just last week for me, and then we leave the scan and we're getting calls from my dad and his girlfriend, and we're like, oh shit, we both just had this bad feeling. And we call them back and they're like, look, we've just got your dad's MRI results. He's got another tumour in the frontal part of his brain that can't be operated on, and it's a really big one. So it's not looking good for Dad at the moment. And there's not a whole lot we can do. He'll obviously be able to do some treatment, but the last one we were able to cut a chunk of the tumour out, which was really helpful, and I think why he kind of broke the prognosis and like is still with us. So yeah, me and my bro don't really know what to think. We're just a bit like, oh my God, like it's something we can't even process. We were just sitting there like, what? But Dad is so cute. He's like, so what are you guys up to? And we're like, oh, well, Dad, we just left a scan and now you're telling us like, this really bad news. And he's just fully like, out with the old, in with the new. Don't worry about me. He's like, I'll be with Chumpy soon. It'll be amazing. Don't even worry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, shut up, Dad. Like
he's definitely gonna stay around till at least the baby's born, and then he will be able to go and tell Chumpy like everything about the baby.
I know. He's just so cute, Dad. And I'm literally like, it's a really funny thing knowing, like obviously Chump, we had no idea his life was about to end that day. So we'd had no chats about, like dying. But Dad, and I'm hoping it's not soon, I hope he breaks this prognosis and lasts a lot longer. But he, because we know that he's potentially not going to be around forever now, I'm having these chats with him and I'm like, Dad, we need to choose like a sign or a song or a animal or a thing that you like send to me, and when you're with Chumpy up there, if I see this sign, I'll know that you guys are together. So we're like pre-prepping, just kind of having those chats about when he's on the other side, and I'm hoping he can send me like really specific signs that we've talked about now so that I know that it's true. So
yes,
and
that's a good
this
one.
is something, and again, like I know it sounds really woo-woo, but if you're in my shoes, this is the shit that you like hold on to, even though your head's going, oh, shut up, you're just talking absolute smack, that's not real. It literally helps me get through knowing that, if Dad's going, he's going to be with Chump. I can't even believe they're both there, but I will look for the signs, and that's what will keep me going. I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is with COVID, like I can't get down to Sydney and see my dad, and that's killing me. But Christy, my stepsister, is so cute. She's like, as soon as you have the baby, I'll drive Dad and Sue up to the border, and you guys can like up to the Queensland New South Wales border, and Dad can meet the bub at the border, which is so cute.
So cute.
Who knows? But yes, that's a little update on that. But yeah, speaking of COVID, and lots of people have said to us, thank God you guys don't talk about COVID. You guys are a breath of fresh air. Like, thank you for that. And the truth is, we don't feel educated enough to talk about all the politics of COVID and all that crap.
Oh, 100%.
Fucking hell. I don't even. Nah, everyone's talking about it. I just don't want to talk about it. However, elephant in the room, Chloe had COVID. Let's talk about it, doll.
Yes. So obviously it's a very serious thing. Like like Ellidy said, we don't know enough about it to make any claims or anything like that. But I'm in an R whether or not to share this experience with you guys. And this is just my personal experience with it. So basically it was 2 months ago. It was actually while we were recording season 1, and no one picked up on it. But so basically both Paul and I had it. Paul was vaccinated. The only reason why I hadn't been vaccinated by the point I got it was because of the fertility reasons. I know there's a lot of research now that's saying that it's not harmful, but because I've already got like major fertility issues, I was like, I don't want to have anything else, a reason for me to not fall pregnant. But obviously I've come over here, and a lot of like basically when all the rules are coming in, you really do need to have the vaccine to be able to do a lot of things. And that includes travel to different countries. Like, for example, the reason why I didn't go to the UK with Paul is because you need to be vaccinated to enter the country. Otherwise you've got to do the 2 weeks of quarantine. So long story short, I decided I was going to get the vaccine. I spoke to my doctor and he said, it's fine. The benefit outweighs the risk at this point. So you should really get it. So I was actually booked in to get the vaccine the day I tested positive to COVID. So my experience with it, Paul actually got it at the same time. And like I said, he's vaccinated. He was very sick. He wasn't hospitalized, but he was sick. I actually tested negative the day that he tested positive. And then I had a really bad chesty cough, which I did have before I got COVID. I had bronchitis, and I kind of always get it when I get on planes, and I had just done my first trip over from Australia, so I wasn't 100%. But I stayed at a friend's house. I didn't actually stay with Paul while he had it. I stayed at a friend's house, and I think on day 3 of Paul's COVID, I went to the shop and I didn't go to the shop. So my friend got me a takeaway burrito. And as I was sitting in the front garden eating this burrito, I was like, that's so weird. I can't taste anything. And I immediately knew. I was just like, oh, there you go. I've got it. So I went and got tested, and obviously it came up positive straight away. And then I went back in and I lived with Paul for the following 2 weeks. So yeah, I actually wasn't that bad. Like I lost my taste and my smell, and that was pretty horrific. Like that was really making me devastated, because I was like thinking, oh my God, I literally cannot taste anything. How am I ever going to go to a restaurant again and like buy a steak and
Chloe
pay for
was
it when I
sending
can't taste it?
Oh my God, imagine. That'd be the worst. Yeah,
No,
because Chloe was sending our girl group like videos of her getting like full on spoonfuls of Vegemite and just smashing it, like putting it in her mouth and swallowing it. And we were like, ugh. And she was like, I dead set cannot taste this for shit.
Well, I was
I
calling
can't
it the
taste this thing."
Vegemite test. But then also I did like, there's like those immunity shots, and they usually come in like a little glass jar. I
Yes.
cannot do those at all.
Like the
Even
turmeric
like I
ones.
don't even do shots. Like I don't do shots at all, because I just can't do that. I hate it. I dead set you can buy like a bottle of the immunity stuff from like one of our local like health food stores, and I'm kid you not, I could drink the whole thing and like not even flinch.
My God.
You could feel it burning, but like I couldn't taste. Anyway, so that literally lasted. I was like doing a lot of research, and like my smell, because I was sniffing, I'm like essential oils that I know are strong, going like, I know this smells strong. Like my nose isn't blocked, but where in my brain is this disconnecting? Like how can I not smell this? And I was even like on Amazon, you can buy like smell kits, like where you train your smell again. But and I spoke to other people that had it, and they're like, oh, it's been months. Mine hasn't come back yet. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just insane.
That
but
would be
it actually
so scary.
The only other thing that I had was just like lethargic and really tired. I pretty much slept for 5 days straight. I binged watched my first Netflix series. I watched Manifest, and I loved that. If anyone hasn't seen it, get amongst it.
Your first Netflix series?
Well, binged like
oh, okay, like proper
watched.
back to back.
Yeah, back to back. So and then they just actually launched season 3. Well, they just released season 3 of that season just the other day over here, so it's very exciting. But yeah, so I slept, and then it was literally, I guess Paul got better before I did. They really took about 9-10 days for him to be negative, whereas for me, it took me the full 2 weeks. And yeah, then it was just literally back to normal. But I guess for traveling, you obviously have to have the vaccine, or because I once you get COVID, you have to actually wait 3 months until you can actually get the vaccine. So I can get it at the end of next month. But I had a blood test here that basically shows I have the antibodies in my system. I'm positive to the antibodies, but I'm negative to the active virus. But I still have to, because I don't have the vaccine, if I'm doing traveling and trips and stuff like that, I still have to have a negative PCR test within 24 hours of traveling and show my certificate about the antibodies. And then obviously once I can get the vaccine, I'll get it, because it's just it's really limited on the stuff that you can and can't do without it. I'm glad that we're, all healthy now and ready to do life again.
Contracting COVID. Everyone stay safe from that shit. It did not sound fun. Chloe did not sound. She looked and sounded like death. It was heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you're okay now.
Also, we before we wrap this one up, we want to talk a little bit about next week's episode. It is very exciting for us because it is our first guest episode and
First real guest.
First real guest. Oh, sorry, Paul.
Fisher was
I
a
forgot
fake
about
guest.
him. Yes. He was a family guest. Actually, I guess our next guest is also another family guest, but it's my brother.
We've got, he was so good. Coop is amazing, and he's just like such a business boy, and just like he was the easiest person and just such a ray of light to get on, and just spoke so well about what he does and all about mental health. I loved it. It was so interesting. So
it actually is such a good episode.
Yeah, hopefully everyone loves it.
I listened to it the other day and I was like, although we're talking about mental health and very serious topic and issues, somehow Ellidy just comes out with some of the weirdest shit ever. Like I'm laughing out loud. Oh, you just have to wait until next week. But it's really funny. And it's like it's a really beautiful episode and we're really excited to share it with you guys all. And we hope that you liked today's episode and we're so happy to be back. Oh my God.
It's actually really cool to be back. I was a bit scared for this episode. I feel like I was huffing and puffing a lot before. But
before we go, for our YouTubers, can you show us your belly?
Oh, the belly.
The belly.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I fully just don't look pregnant right now. Pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
It's huge.
So if you want to see the live belly update, you need to go to the link in our bio and you'll be able to see our YouTube video. Yes.
Fucking big, bro. That. I don't know. Boy, girl, I don't know.
Boy.
Girl.
All right. Well, on that note, Ellidy, keep that bubba in there.
You can listen to us on Spotify and YouTube now, so that's epic. We're gonna YouTube all of our eps for this season, so you can watch them all.
Yes, and link in our bio. Thanks, guys. We love you so much. Bye. Bye.